Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Byrd Brains. I am talking more enthusiastically than I should to start off. I don't know if you guys heard JoJo giggle, but she actually makes all this happen, and that's the first time I've ever actually heard her make a noise while we were
It's like a mouse over
Like a
there.
little mouse.
Jonathan Byrd, David Byrd, Bryan Clauson, John Colby. Two of those people have the same first name. Were you paying attention?
Who were they?
You gotta pace yourself, John. You gotta pace yourself.
Well, he just gave it away. John was the name. So that was David Byrd giving you all
Was
the
that the
answers.
first game we played?
That was the first game of many games that we're going to play. The next game we're going to play. Oh, sorry. Welcome to Byrd Brains Game Night. So we'll be playing a bunch of different games. And unless you're listening to this during the day, then it is game day. But that's also sounds like football. Never mind. It's getting more complicated. Game day. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so first we are going to sit silently for 30 minutes while Bryan plays Candy Crush. Bryan, is it true that you love Candy Crush?
I do. I do love Candy Crush.
All right.
I beat it. I beat the original one, and now I play Candy Crush Saga. I think I want. Let me tell you what level.
Wait, hold
I'm
on. You can. I've never even played it because I think it's a stupid game for little kids.
Passes the time when you're going down the road.
Which makes
So
me
how many
nervous because you're in the middle of a race.
How many levels are there in the original?
I'd have to go back. There's a lot, but I'm on 528 of the.
I
second
hated the
version.
chocolate.
So there's more than 500 in the first one?
I don't know.
That's the problem. I didn't know you could even beat it. I just thought it kept going.
Well, I didn't either, but at some point, I just got to a point where there was no more levels.
Was there just a
It
screen
didn't
that
say.
said,
It didn't
hey,
say.
man, this is sad?
It said it was literally like the little level emoji or whatever
Yeah.
was just like a construction sign.
Really?
like
We're building the
like
next
we're building the
level.
next set of levels.
That's sad. Or maybe it was
yeah.
just like a picture of your own front door. So, hey, why don't you go out and see what's going on in the real world?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so now if we'll all sit quietly, he's going to start playing. And now we're back. We actually cut out that half hour of the podcast.
You
so we
guys
didn't wanna
missed
make
a
you-
lot. Too.
Yeah, there was actually some crying at one point. I guess Bryan lost at one level. It was weird.
Now, in Candy Crush, there's like these cheats where you like set your phone forward to get your lives. Did you ever do that?
No,
Or
I never
Did you ever
did that.
spend the money to?
No,
Okay.
only time. So now you don't have to on this version. The only time I spent money on the original version was, you got to a certain every 30 levels, you had to either wait 3 days, or you could pay 99 cents and just get the next levels right away. And so I'd pay the 99 cents and get the next levels right away. Because a lot of times when I spent playing it is, you're laying in the backseat of the truck
For 8 hours.
driving down or riding down the road. And,
Yeah.
And so you're like, you don't really want to wait 3 days at that point. You got a 16-hour road trip. You just want to.
But couldn't you just move your phone 3 days
Yeah,
forward?
I think you could, but I don't.
That's what I always did.
I never
But
quite.
I stopped playing it too.
I never quite got that deep into it. I just.
So now here's
big
the question.
spender.
Who's David? I'll ask you because do you play that game?
I do not.
Okay, good. Then who's more of the addict? The person who sets their phone forward or the person who pays for it? Because they both are sad to me.
It's very sad.
But which one do you think is more addicted?
That's a good question.
Well, you haven't been married 15 years, so
Yeah.
Fair enough.
you don't understand.
You're gonna find out,
Right.
hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a toss up. I can't go either way. I think either one is equally sad.
Survey
That was a
says.
cop-out.
That's correct. They're both sad. So those of you playing along with that game at home, the answer is both people are addicted. But JB said he went.
I think mine was smarter because I didn't spend the money.
But you manipulated a stupid little game. Like, that's sad to me too.
It's not manipulation. It's outsmarting the game.
All right. So you're the Bill Belichick of Candy Crush.
That's where I am.
So they did.
We played hard. It was all right.
We're on the next week.
I hate that guy
On
so
the next-
much.
we're on the
Did I
next-
say
we're on
too
the
many
next
words in my impersonation of Bill
exactly. I
Belichick?
could
My
kind of
bad.
understand what you were saying.
Sorry.
So what
too.
you're
Yeah.
saying is, he videotaped me playing Candy.
Exactly. To figure out your strategy,
Yeah.
and then he destroyed you.
No, I overinflated his phone.
Is that what? That's what it was.
Well, if he couldn't forward his phone by 3 days, he would have become an Angry Bird.
Oh,
That's a groaner foul right
that
there.
doesn't get a bell. I thought you were going to hit the bell. You're like, no, I'm not hitting the
he
bell.
did not deserve that.
So
No.
tell me,
You need to apologize.
Wah.
when you
Wow.
went through therapy to stop playing Candy Crush, how was that?
Well, there's a lot of crying involved, and
We had a
we
detox.
brought up some very painful things donuts and wrapped candies and
Wait, hold on.
Rolos.
Those
It
aren't
was-
painful things. Those are
No,
wonderful things.
no, so it was one of those things where I just I was glad to get through it, and I
Good.
felt like I came out a better man.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
you. Hey,
Good thoughts.
wait, are donuts part of the game?
I always called him Jelly Donut, the one that blew all the things off the screen.
What
Or
do you
the-
call
or-
those things?
I don't know. It always looked
They
like
were
a
like
disco ball to me, but
Disco
it's not
ball,
a candy.
jelly donut. See, again, I don't play the game.
I got that from her, my beautiful wife. She called them Jelly Donuts, so I started calling them Jelly
Don't
Donuts.
blame Abby on your addiction. Okay,
I'm actually
then-
surprised there's
Okay,
two
I'll
people.
blame my son then.
there you go. See, it's a game for children, so that's great.
I'm actually surprised there's 2 people at this table who have not played Candy Crush because I've never played any of those games.
I thought it was stupid, and then I started playing, and because I wanted to know what it was about.
Well, see,
Oh,
someone
yeah, I
said
did
It's
Someone-
kind of like other things.
I
you
did
know.
that in 1989. It was called Tetris, and at the time I was 11 years old.
Right. Yeah.
1989. I was born. So was it January?
What is
February?
Tetris?
Was it before I was born or after I was born?
Probably after you were born. It was probably like summertime.
Was it that early? Was it 1989?
I'm just throwing out a year.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up
All right,
now
here we
because I
go.
want to know.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I can understand Brian needing to play Candy Crush because he does spend a lot of time on the road with a lot of time he needs to kill. But apparently, my brother needs some work
Well,
to do.
this was when I was
Yep.
just a concessionaire of the speedrome. So
Oh.
I worked Saturdays, and that was it. It was very sad time in my life.
So 6 days a week, Tetris. Candy Crush. Sorry, I was dreaming of Tetris now.
And now you have the blocks coming down your brain
Exactly.
all night
I'm
long
watching-
while you're sleeping.
And I'm waiting for the 4 in a row, the long one, and I've got everything's all lined up, but I'm missing that one row on the end. I'm like, come on, and I'm gonna lose, and it's gonna show your next one up would have been the long one. That's my nightmare right there. That's my 11-year-old nightmare is coming back. What's funny when you said like little donuts and stuff like that, I thought you were talking about like when you were dealing with the addiction, like donuts was your comfort food.
yeah.
So here's just a quick question: what's your comfort food? Like if you have a bad day, you like you're just real frustrated. Like we talked about Del Taco in the last episode. Like if there's anything in your brain, like man, I don't care right now. I just could go for a blank.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know that I have one.
So you lost a race, you got nipped at the line, and you're like, that was $25,000. Poof! It was second place was $2,000. What? There's no like food.
I don't think I could eat at that point. I'd be sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
All right, okay, now let's do it this way. Lauren proposes marriage. Lauren talks about getting married. What's your go-to meal to console yourself?
Once again, I think. I don't.
Still can't eat. Okay,
Food,
gotcha.
Food doesn't really do it for me. Like as far as like,
Yeah.
it's not like a comfort thing.
Well, what is the comfort thing then?
I don't know. I'm pretty
Candy Crush?
Candy Crush.
Is that what you
I just
do?
get there and Candy Crush.
When
FanDuel.
you're frustrated, I just gotta crush some candy right now.
I will say
My dogs are my comfort.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty much what.
Mine is asparagus and salad. No, I'm kidding.
I hate you. I thought if that was real. I'm like, all right, West Coast. You're in the Midwest. The answer is ranch. Anything deep fried,
Brussels
dipped in
sprouts.
ranch.
When it's
Deep
I will
fried
say
Oreos.
that because if I'm here in town in Indiana because I live out in Phoenix, but if I'm here, then it's chicken noodles and fried chicken and
At Jonathan
and a
Bird's.
turkey Manhattan at Jonathan Bird's, maybe a pot pie.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Jonathan
always-
Birds needs to do. This is just a little request here. Needs to do banana pudding. I like banana pudding.
Yeah, we've probably done that in the past. I'm sure we could
Banana
ramp it
cream
up
pie.
again.
But I was gonna say the pie. Yeah.
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 Banana cream pie.
I like
But-
banana cream pie.
Well,
Where's
we
that
could-
at?
Well, you win the Indy 500, brother. You can have whatever you want.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. You're gonna be drinking milk. What goes well with milk? Banana cream pie.
So but in general, I would say biscuits and gravy
Yeah.
and pizza. But if you want to get more specific,
So
I
he
would
has
say,
a
like,
hangover.
a Buffalo Ranch chicken wrap at Buffalo Wild Wings.
There's the ranch. Ladies and
There it
gentlemen, there's the Midwestern coming back. See? Yeah.
So it's like, he came back halfway. He wrapped it. It was a wrap.
That's true. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
lettuce in there,
Not a lot.
but it's
Iceberg.
fried chicken, not the grilled one.
And it's iceberg lettuce, so there's no nutritional content.
Exactly.
That's like
That's
an
like
ounce
the-
of water.
It's good roughage.
Right? You're gonna need that, right?
Like the Hershey's chocolate of lettuces.
It's going to end up being. Never mind. It's going to. That's poop joke. There
I was setting it up for you.
it is.
Well, I mentioned the roughage. I was trying to get you there.
Oh, that's true. You guys can't set it up for me. Right now you're pitching underhand softball. So they're like, there you go, Colby, hit one out of the park. I'm like, no, make me work for it. Okay, so Bryan, his comfort food is dogs.
Are we back to Korean stuff again?
David, biscuits and gravy, pizza, and a buffalo ranch wrap from
That's if
B-Dubs.
I'm not in Indy and able to access Jonathan Byrd's fried chicken and mac and cheese and chicken nuggets and turkey Manhattan.
Yeah, I just had fried chicken and mac and cheese before we started the podcast, and it is so good.
And mashed
if you haven't been to Jonathan Byrd's cafeteria,
Where's it located?
give them the address. I can say what city it's in.
I-65, exit 99 in Greenwood.
I just know it's in Greenwood. Like that's my whole life. That's just that. So yeah, delicious.
Thank you.
And what's your comfort food?
Pizza.
From where?
I am a pizza file.
I love file of pizzas.
Pizza file. Yes.
Oh, you're a lover.
Let me go through my Rolodex of pizza.
Well, it's really interesting. We've been working on pizza recipes for a lot of what we're working on in Westfield at Grand Park. We're going to have pizza in our restaurants up there, and
cool.
it is really good. But the best pizza is made in a 800-degree oven with high gluten Caputo flour.
High gluten?
High gluten.
I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's like gluten free. I'm like, I want more gluten. I want high gluten.
All the people who are giving up their gluten, just give it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sauce that we're going to use, the pepperoni we're going to use, we actually take raw sausage, we pinch it off and put it on the pizza. It is so good.
There it is. I didn't even have to say it. I looked over at Bryan and David, and I just smirked, and both of them, their eyes went up at the same time, like, there it is. It's another softball, but hit it, Colby, hit it.
That's right. So for times like this when you need to fire people, we got somebody that can do that for you. Not really.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was our sponsor. I'm like, boom. Again, setting up the softball, I just got hit it out of the park.
So speaking of our sponsor, as a business owner, you should know that top job candidates will be comparing your benefits package against your competition. A benefits package crafted, administered, and executed by Tilson HR is the first step in taking your business to the next level. To learn more, visit talktotilson.com. That's talktotilson.com. Tilson HR, the official HR firm of the Byrd Brains podcast.
Talk to Tilson. There it is.
There's
Cool.
this week's jingle. Now,
To keep up with our poor taste, we led straight from pinching sausages into talking about packages.
Right? Yeah. I wasn't going to say that. It's just, but yeah, exactly. That's where it went.
Now, I do want to add real quickly though, as a addition to that live read, Tilson is not just a sponsor; they are the HR company of the Jonathan Byrd's Hospitality and Restaurant Group. So
they're good.
They do a great job for us,
Dude. Man, they're saving us so much on all this. HR stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's so convoluted. I don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean the ACA regulations, the Affordable Care Act regulations are just monstrous, and we would have to dedicate 2 or 3 people just to figure it all out. But they take care of it all,
and they'll probably screw it up too. So these guys are professionals. They know what the heck they're talking about.
So, like I said, we get to focus on our business. They focus on HR concerns. It's a co-employment situation with them. So it's not just a sponsor. They're not just paying us to do this. I mean, we work with them.
So you literally talk to Tilson
every day.
Yes,
we talk to Tilson.
That's awesome.
His name's Brent.
Oh, he has a name.
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole company has a name. I love it. And that name is Tilson.
That's right.
Talk to Tilson.
So do you have a comfort food?
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Colby?
talked about your comfort food.
Oh man, I have
So
all
when you're
the
watching the
comfort
Colts
foods.
game and you're really mad, what do you go to?
Oh, I just cry. Man, come on. They've been playing well.
Yes.
I don't know. With this last game, I didn't even see it.
You didn't?
Well, no, because it's
December
December 13th or 14th.
The real question is
Time traveling.
Hasselbeck
going to start the rest of the year?
No.
He should. He's undefeated.
He's undefeated. Yeah, but he's a 40-year-old man. So we'll see. Again,
40-year-olds are stupid.
So youngster.
Right? My comfort food, like it's when I had a bad day, and like for me, like a bad day is normally I've been go, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I haven't been home. I'm gonna stop at Taco Bell and just grab some crappy food and it's probably going to have a cheesy gordita crunch and a Mexican pizza. But if I can sit down and have crappy food, I might have Giordano's pizza on the north side. I love some Chicago deep dish.
Now, just to clarify for anybody from Taco Bell or Giordano's who's listening, he's not saying that your food is crappy.
Oh no, it's high in calories and fat, but it's also mega high in deliciousness.
Just want to clarify.
Yeah.
We don't need any libel suits filed against us.
Oh no, yeah.
Have you had
Our
South
budget
of
is not
Chicago
so fat.
pizza?
I have in Fountain Square.
Fountain Square, they actually have another couple locations, but yeah.
Fountain Square has that, and then they have the Italian beef too.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Is it now? You've been to Chicago. You lived there for a while. Compare that Chicago Italian beef to the Italian beef actually in Chicago.
Well, it's close.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, you're not going to find Italian beef outside of Chicago. It's like you're not going to find a good Philly cheesesteak as good as Tony Luke's. If you ever go to Philly, everybody always talks about Geno's or Pat's, like the two famous ones. There's a place called Jim's on South Street that's better than that, and there's actually a place called Tony Luke's that's the best. But like Portillo's, have you been to Portillo's in Chicago?
Yes.
It's their Italian beef so good. And there's a place called Al's. It's like a fast food place, but it's so good too. I'm a foodie.
Is that the one where you
guys?
have to like do the lean and like actually, against the counter,
Get in there.
and so you don't get the dripping down your
Well, because you
shirt?
can get it dipped. Like, so
right.
it's just all like the bread and everything's just going to be dipped in juices. So the
Dipped.
whole thing dipped. And it's just a mess, but you don't care. Like,
Disclaimer, nobody's providing this pizza. There's no pay to play happening here.
oh, I thought the whole goal was whoever sold their food the best was going to get it. Okay, well, then never mind.
Just want to put that out there as a disclaimer. There's no pay to play.
But fried
happening
chicken's
here.
good too.
Oh, yeah, it is.
John the Bird's fried chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, my fingers still. No, they smell like those butter biscuits. Man, Jonathan Bird's biscuits, guys.
Homemade from scratch.
Oh, so
Buttermilk
good.
biscuits.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, it's as good.
Melt
as
in your mouth.
It's as good as a Mario Lopez smile.
There it is. We didn't have it in the last one. I actually thought about that. When we got done, I'm like, hey, I made my poop joke. But David didn't make his creepy comment about AC Slater. But no, he brought it back.
There he is.
Brought it back, getting close to the holidays. All right? I know what you want for Christmas.
Saved by the Bells action figure AC Slater.
Exactly.
Before we get much further, let's talk about some racing.
Definitely with the tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
The pink
wrestling
tank top.
singlet.
Oh, the singlet is really good, too.
Good point.
Speaking of points, racing.
Oh, racing. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So you just got back from somewhere. Where did you just go?
We just got done racing at the Indy Invitational at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and we're got another indoor race coming up here this weekend at DuQuoin, which is an indoor race in Southern Illinois. I think it's actually the Southern Illinois Center. Is what they call it.
Yep.
Southern Illinois Center?
Located in Northern Illinois. No, I'm just kidding. It's
like South
literally
Bend.
Yeah.
is,
North Vernon.
South Bend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he said.
so
Sorry.
Try to pay attention. Try to keep up, John.
I'm trying to pay attention to where the race is specifically.
yeah, what really matters.
Right? Exactly.
No, so yeah, heading over there, which is would be a lot of fun. It's a race that has kind of become sort of tradition. It's taken on a new name and new promoters and all that, but same event and
Junior
should be a lot of
Knepper 55,
yeah,
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
Have you won that race before?
I have, I think
How many laps is it?
55.
Oh, okay.
55 this year.
Yeah, now you keep up.
Had always been 40 in the past, so should be a lot of fun. It's a place that kind of is just a place you go to do something at this point. A lot of people have had a lot of time off, not me, but a lot of people had a lot of time off. It's a track you could pretty much probably fit in this room. It's tiny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's tiny and
Like a tilt-a-whirl.
a lot of
You're just going.
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
No, I haven't been to
I think we run. I think in practice we're in the 8 seconds.
Oh,
8
wow.
seconds.
So I haven't been to an indoor race. Well, I actually raced in the last Hoosier Dome race in 2000, but early 90s. So is DuQuoin, does it get real, like the fumes are real bad and just burn your eyes?
It's not too bad. No, it's really not too bad because, the one end, the way it's set up, the one end always has to be open
okay.
because of the way that's, where cars come in and out. So it's always open. I mean, it does, at the end of the race, it's a little bit fumy, but for the most part, it kind of circulates pretty good.
Now, you did have about 3 years ago, you had a pretty interesting end to your race there.
I don't recall.
He said, scratching his forehead and smirking, which means he does recall.
I think you should share that story.
I don't know the story. Please enlighten us. Enlighten our listeners.
Sounds like you don't want to tell us, so I really want to hear it.
He didn't really do anything.
There was an altercation, and we didn't really fight. We just kind of stood each other up, and then we got separated. And unfortunately for him, he got separated into the dog pile, and I got separated away from everything else. So,
oh wow!
So basically, another driver who thought that BC did him dirty on track.
That's not
which
how
didn't
it goes.
happen. It didn't happen.
That's not true. He actually crashed me, and I ran into him.
Oh really?
So I was the one that was upset.
So the guy kind of attacked him. Yeah,
he did not.
I saw the video.
So it's like when somebody cuts you off, so you honk, and then they flip you off on the road.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you
much.
did something to me, so I acknowledged it, and then you go,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
oh, that drives me insane.
It was a I'm sure the video's out there somewhere. It's what,
Yeah, there's videos somewhere.
2012? Was that when it was? 2013 at the coin race? All I know
Yeah.
is that
12 or 13.
It's funny because I've seen the video or I saw it on MAV TV last year, and Big Al is like trying to drag him onto the pile or off the pile, and Al's trying to drag him and losing his pants at the same time. And
rather large. Big Al is big too. So
just like his name says,
it was pretty serious altercation.
I've never seen you gotten physical with anybody yet.
Well, I mean, I didn't do it.
Well, but
I got out and held him up until everybody got there.
You're like, hey guys.
So yeah.
So do you see that guy?
Yeah, still racing.
What's your worst altercation you have gotten into?
That was probably it.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really.
You've never have no drama.
kept his helmet on.
No drama in the pits or anything.
No.
Yeah,
Not really.
it's not speed drum Saturday nights.
You do it 100 times, you kind of see it all.
So you seem pretty even keel for the most part.
Pretty much, you do it. You do it enough. You don't have to hit them right then. You just crash them later.
Yeah, I could hit you with my fist, or I could hit you with an automobile.
That's right.
All right. Yeah.
Have at it, boys.
Exactly.
And a lot of times you don't even have to hit them. You just can put them in bad spots, and they take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Once you've been doing it for a while, you kind of figure out
where to bump them.
The Bill Lambier. So you're the Bill Lambier of the racetrack.
You just kind of put them in a bad spot. They either have to lift or.
Nice. So now you're talking about strategy. You were talking about the races going from 40 laps to 55. Does that change your strategy when you're dealing with a shorter race, like a 30 lap, compared to like a?
Yeah, a little. I mean, not necessarily. You just don't have to be in such a hurry.
Yeah.
You kind of can just relax. It does change how you set your car up. You're obviously, when you just like the race we're talking about going from 40 to 55, you're basically extending it almost by a third.
Yeah.
So, at the end of last year's race, we'll be 2/3 of the way through this one, so you'll still have quite a bit to go. So, it does change your approach a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, sprint car racing, there is no riding around or really on most nights saving your stuff. Even on long races, you're kind of, you're careful not to abuse it, but you're still just, trying to figure out where you need to be at the end of the race. Track position a lot of times is always king.
Yeah.
So
cool. Very cool.
The Turkey Night race out in Paris that we talked about last podcast, that was pretty much one of the longest short track races of the year, 98 laps.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, so another thing from a non-racing guy, like when you're doing a 30 lap, like are you allowed to like just basically run your engine harder, and do you have to conserve more, or is it set up differently when you have to last longer?
Yeah, the engine side of it, not really. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing is like a 98 lap race, you just you almost set your pace. Your pace is slower than what a 30 lap race would be, because you're not, lap 1 through 60 don't really matter.
Yeah.
Other than the box score.
Yeah.
So, you're just kind of trying to, if you start out front, you're trying to keep track position, but you aren't, if a guy's being crazy, you'll just let him go. And
is that younger drivers sometimes?
Not always younger. Could be older too. I mean, it just depends. I mean, obviously, a lot of the guys up front feel like they can win. They feel like they got cars good enough to win. But if a guy, like this year, we, a lot of the races we do an inversion of 6. So the 6th fastest qualifier will actually start on the pole of the race. So, that guy might not feel like he can, necessarily drive by the other 5 guys, so he's going to be a little bit more desperate to stay out front. And make it hard on you to get by and make you chase him instead of him chasing you. So it's just a lot of different approaches. I mean, it's just a lot. Honestly, it's a lot about how you feel about your car and how confident you are. If you feel like you got a car that, if you know you have a car that can win, you kind of just hang out for a while, you know. And pretty quick, lap 1 through 30, you end up just messing around really more than anything. You run up, you run down, you run here, you run there, try and keep up. Dirt track, it's always changing. So what we have on lap 1 is not what we have on lap 98. So every 5 or 6 laps for the first 50, you're just moving around trying to see if
feel it out.
Something's if a different groove's coming in. What does it do if I do this? What does it do if I do that? So just a lot of managing the race.
Cool. Very cool.
Do you draw from your experiences, like how a track is going to change? Does every track pretty much change the same way historically?
Obviously every track gets drier and the longer you run on it, but not necessarily. Some places, the way they're built, the longer the race goes, the more it moves to the top half of the racetrack. And there's some places you just know on lap 20 of a 30-lap race or lap 40 of a 50-lap race, the bottom's going to start coming in and you got to be looking for it. So, certainly when you run places over and over, you learn how they change. A lot of places in Indiana, I could probably pretty much tell you exactly what I'm going to do before I go out because I ran there
Kokomo
several times. And, it's lap 10, it's going to be like this. Lap 15, it's going to be like this. Lap 20, I'm going to do this. And, if it comes in like it usually does, we'll probably win. And if it doesn't, then, obviously it varies night to night. But, for the most part, the game plan is usually the same.
It's called experience.
Do you have other drivers that you're friends with that you guys kind of talk shop about, or like younger drivers, or stuff like that? Or was there somebody when you were younger that told you?
No, we're all friends, but a lot of that stuff, you don't really share.
That's why I wondered. I'm like, I don't care if you're friends. It's still
money's on the line. Like, man, the top is great.
You're obviously not gonna lie to him or whatever. But
I close my eyes in 3. It's that nice.
Exactly.
Held my breath.
So
sing myself.
It's
row,
like anything.
Row your boat.
It's like anything. You'll we all talk about it, and everybody sees a lot of the same things, but it's finding the little pieces that you don't divulge. It's like saying it's like your grandma teaching you her recipe, but it's never as good as grandma's, right?
Right.
There's always that one little thing that grandma does, or so there's always something there that you leave out.
I'm bad at analogies. Your grandma taught you to drive. That's what that meant, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's amazing. Correct. She loves Broadway, right? You have a grandma that loves Broadway, and she taught you how to drive, and she's a better cook than you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right, we got all we needed to know.
There you go. Perfect.
About grandma.
No, they're not going to share their secrets because these guys are out here to make a living.
That's what I was at. But when you're younger, like, who did somebody help you figure those kind of things out, or because I know you started pretty young. You
a lot of it.
Well, you had your dad.
A lot of it is. Yeah, I had my dad who raced, and that helps. And a lot of it though is just going out and doing it. You can sit here and I could sit here and tell you how to take that corner, but until you go do it,
it's like
and
improv.
you're physically in there, and physically in there doing it, it's.
Do you ever make notes?
It only goes so good.
Do you ever have a notebook or make notes?
No. Well, yeah. That's not true. Yeah, I did at one point, but not so much anymore. It's I wouldn't say it becomes tedious, but I could tell you you could pretty much ask me about any race from the last 10 years, and I could pretty much tell you what happened. So,
but he won't because he's not going to divulge that information. So don't call in right now asking for help.
Speaking of, I think we're getting close on time. So my brother just talked about improv very briefly. So John, before we end this podcast, why don't you? People can obviously listen to you here on the Byrd Brains podcast, but where else can they access your fine comedic talents?
I live in Lawrence, so if you just want to come over, I have a lot of board games. And if you like poop jokes, man, we're going to have a lot of fun. And if you like Diet Mountain Dew, bring some. I've cut back on it, but I miss it. So, no, I do comedy. I perform at Comedy Sports downtown at 721 Massachusetts Avenue, where we do short-form improvisational comedy, which basically, if you've seen Whose Line Is It Anyway or Wildin' Out on MTV, we take suggestions from the audience. We just make stuff up. So if you like that, we have shows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. If you want to call and make reservations or ask anything, you just call our hotline number at 317-951-8499. And you can get information about that. I perform there, but I have like 45 friends who perform there too. So come out and see
Everybody's
us.
funny.
Literally 45.
And that's it.
No, there are figuratively millions of people who work there.
And that's at CSZ Indy is the website.
Oh, yeah, CSZindy.com. You can find that out. Or just Google Comedy Sports,
Yep.
all one word with a Z at the end. We have 23 different locations in America, and I've been to 21 of the 23, and I'm going to get those last 2 someday.
And of course, on Mass Ave, they play at the Jonathan Byrd's Comedy Sports Arena.
They do. I wanted to call it the Comedy Dome. I keep pitching that, and they keep telling me no. But I'm like, the Jonathan Byrd's Comedy Dome sounds so cool.
It does.
It does.
But they don't
Fight.
listen.
Come improv to the death.
Exactly. Well, JoJo's giving me those sweet, sweet eyes, and that means she wants me to go away.
She has the soulful eyes of a cow.
Right? Oh, no, that's a horrible way to say that. So this
Okay,
one
Sheldon.
specifically goes to JoJo, but it also goes to all of our listeners. We want to let you know
We're
very, very sorry.